Hello everybody, in this video I would like to show you a pet shop application. This is a server application. I do not know its front end. I just would like to show you how this backend works and how can I execute automatically the different operations. So as I mentioned, this is a pet store where you can store the different parameters of the animals, such as name, status, and location, website location of the photos and things like that. This is a record that contains the data about one specific pet. We send it from the client side. We send it to the server, and then that will represent the animal there in the shop. So we define the name, for example, doggy, and then on the backend or in the store, it will be stored as doggy, as you can see it here. So we send this whole block to the server with status available. You can see it at the very end. It means that the animal can be purchased by a kid or by some small children or the parents. So the status is available when we store the animal or post the animal in the shop. The ID is 0. The ID is 0 because we do not know what ID the shop will give or the shop employees will give to the animal. So actually this operation, when we send some data to the server, that is so-called request, and request we ask something from the backend, and the backend answers back with a response. So there is request and there is response. At the post operation, you can see it here that this is a post. At the post operation, the ID is 0 as request, but in the response we will get the ID. So what you can see here is that I have posted an animal with ID 0 because I don't know what will be the ID of the animal. I have posted it with the request, with post request to the store, and then in the response I got back the same data as I have posted. The only difference is that I have the ID. So this is the response body, and the only difference between response body and the data I have sent here at the request, the only difference is that I have the ID here. At this case, when we speak about a so-called post operation, at this case, new entry on the backend will appear, and the data, including the modified ID that will be given by the backend. So this whole data will be created on the backend, and whenever we execute a new post operation, then a new data will be created, but the other one that was posted before, that will be still kept. So at every post operation, new data will be stored on the backend. So a post do not overwrite anything. It keeps everything as it was before, and but creates new entries. There is something similar to post, but it is called put. when we speak about put request, it means that no new record will be created, but one will be selected, the one that is the parameter at the request. So one of the records, or from data, or from one of the many records, or of the many data, one record will be selected, and some value of that record will be changed. For example, as I have said before, with post, I have uploaded a new animal with post or new pet, and then with put, I can change the status of that animal from available to sold. It means that the animal was sold, and as it is a put operation, no new record will be created, only the existing record will be modified according to the parameter of the put request. Then there is get, this one. With get, we can get a list of data on the backend. Let me show it for you. I would like to list all the animals with status available. I execute it here with this button. And here are these records or blocks. This represents one animal. This animal has ID 1000, it has category, name, etc., etc., and its status available. There are many data here and many records, but every record status is available because we wanted to get only the available animals. To tell you a bit more detail about it, whenever we execute a request or an operation here with button execute, then this curl operation you see here, or what you see here, these will be executed. So actually this website, this so-called Swagger website, that represents the backend, usage or way of using the backend. This represents, or actually this tells us how we can reach the backend. We do not see the backend. What we see here, how we can reach the backend. So we can reach it with operation post, we can reach it with operation put, and we can reach it with operation get or delete. There are some other operations as well, but the most popular are or the most frequently used are get, post, put, and delete. Let me highlight this curl command here. So as I mentioned, I press execute here, and then this curl command will be executed. You see here highlighted. I go down. When I press button execute here, then this curl will be executed. Let me show it for you from the command line. So you can see executing the same command that I have executed on the website. I press the enter, and you can see here all the animals with status available. And finally, let me speak about deleting. Let me pick one animal. I pick this one. I mean this ID. This is an ID. I come here. Delete. It opens. Pet ID, or at first try out. Pet ID, I have copied it from the command line and I execute it. This is the response. It means it says that the response code is 200, but it is better to read it here. The response code is 200. It means that the operation was correctly executed, the operation was deleting, so the deletion successfully finished. It can happen that we want to delete an animal that was already deleted before or never existed. Then we would get response code 404, or whenever we give an invalid ID, then the response code can be 400. But this time this operation correctly ended and the animal was deleted. Okay. And let me speak about the source code. What this source code does is I list all the animals I have shown you before with status available. Then I post a new animal. Then I change the status of that new animal with operation put, and I delete the animal with operation delete, and I finally check whether the animal was really deleted or not. So again, get for listing all the pets or animals with status available, then post a new animal, then put modified data for that for the already existing animal, and in this way we can change the status from available to sold, and then we delete that animal. Why? Because the animal was sold. And finally I check whether the animal was really deleted. Let me execute these operations as new. So this list is the same that I have shown you here in the command line or on the Swagger website. So above here, these were the already existing animals. This one, the newly posted animal. You can see that the name of the dog is Foxy Maxi Moon Dog. I come here to content.json, and you can see the name here, Foxy Maxi Moon Dog, and this was the data that I have posted. And this structure here, this is the same that is here. So we do not have the ID because ID will be in the response. So Foxy Maxi Moon Dog was created or stored with status available. That was the post operation. There comes the put operation. Put operation says that we change the status from available to sold, and then we send request and we get back the response, and this is the new status. What you can hear, this status sold, this is the response. So actually we ask the backend, please change the status from available to sold. It does, as we have asked the backend, and then response back with the response. We read the response body, and it says that the animal was sold. So what you read here, this is the response. So we asked please sell it, so change the status to sold, and it responded back that okay, I have done it. You can see here the ID is still the same, so we speak about the same animal. We have changed the status of the animal that was posted just before. Okay, and then I delete the animal. It says that the response code is 200, so the animal was successfully deleted. And then I queried the animal and wanted to see whether is it there or no, was it successfully deleted, and the response code that the pet is not found, so the pet was deleted. In the source code, the data, I mean the URL and this is the URL here. I have highlighted this one. This is the same that is written here. Here, base URL. This is the same here. So actually, every of the data you can see here what I used during the test. Everything is the same. Or the same format that is here on this website. So this structure here, this structure is the same that I use here, and as I have pointed out, there are operations such as get, delete, put and post, and I set them here in the source code. For example, get, if you read this line here, slash pet slash find by status question mark status equals available method get. So have a look on this line 36. I have highlighted here. I come here and go to get. You can see that this data is the same as here. Here is get return here, and this is these are the parameters, and this is get here. You can see get here, and this block here as well, and here we declare what response we accept, we expect, so-called JSON format. And actually what you can see here in this line, or maybe it is better to show you it here. So this is so-called JSON structure. JSON structure contains so-called key and value pairs. It means that there are the so-called scope operators. This one I have highlighted. These are between the so-called case and pairs. So this is the value. So this is the key and this is the value. This is the key, this is the value here. This category is the key, this whole this structure here, this is value. So actually the value can be not only simple data form such as here or here, but another JSON can be a value, and in this another JSON that is a value, there are again the case and values here. So key value pairs means JSON or dictionary structure. Actually JSON, actually I would say that a dictionary is a theoretical expression dictionary, and the JSON file format JSON is the physical representation of that theoretical definition or expression as dictionary. So dictionary is in the theory, and JSON is a physical file extension for storing dictionaries. Okay, and one more thing is that I have every time when I have executed a request such as get, post, put, delete, and then again getting the already deleted animal, I execute so-called assert operations, and with these assert operations I can check whether the response code is the one I expected. So at most of the cases I expect response cost 200. It means that the operation was created successfully. So whenever I wanted to post something, I could post it really. So it succeeded. Therefore, the response code is 200. The same for putting. I wanted to modify some data. I could do it successfully. Response code again 200. The same at the deletion, and also at getting all the animals. The only difference is when at the last part I expected response code 404. You can see here. I expected it, and it means that that animal I wanted to query doesn't exist on the backend. Why? Because I have just deleted it before. So I have posted the animal here. I have posted it here. This is the post. This is the response of put, so I modified the status to sold. Then I deleted it here, and I wanted to query this animal, but I could not do it because it was deleted. And you can see here that the pet not found. That is the response body here. So what I print here, that is here screen. And finally, just one interesting thing I would like to point out, that I'm not sure that this backend works every time as expected, as one can expect, because have a look on the screenshot. On the screenshot, I wanted to query this animal here, this one. This is the ID of the animal, and this was the response. But actually, this is not correct. it cannot be good, because the ID here, this is different from the one I have placed here at the get. So actually I wanted to query this animal, but I got back this one with different ID, and also this block here. Or I do it with red. So this block here, this is much less data than the original block here. So this is the correct structure of a block. So this cannot be good. I don't know what is the problem here. I somehow found it accidentally. I have tested it many times and I found it. I cannot give you an explanation what is the problem here. I don't know the developers of this backend. Actually, that's all I wanted to speak about this topic. I will put the GitHub project link just under the video, and feel free to ask me in the comments. And if you like my videos, then please subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much. Bye bye.